2010. Adriana Atento, www.creationmeditation.com. This ebook may be freely shared. You are the infinite observing the infinite. Author's preface. Creation is the energy, the life-giving force that keeps the universe in motion. It is the power that keeps all of nature moving, shifting, and unfolding in a variety of magnificent ways. It is the intelligence that knows how to keep the heart beating while the stomach digests, how to keep the planets swirling while ants build their nests, and how to keep the 7 oceans in their place while the earth spins and pivots. This energy, this power, this intelligence can be given many names, though at its essence it is one thing: the glory and splendor of God. You must be nothing but an ear that hears what the universe of the world is constantly saying within you. Rabbi Dov Beyer of Mezrich. The following pages will discuss the power of creativity and what can happen when you build a relationship with it. It will review what creativity is, how a consistent commitment to creativity can be a spiritual practice, and how creativity can lead to experiences of awakening and wholeness. The purpose of this book is to encourage you to create. The universe wants to come through you. By becoming a creator, by stepping into the flow of life, you can link up with something remarkable, the alive, flowing, moving river of life. You connect with the cosmos. With a regular practice of creativity, that is, with an ongoing commitment to look within and give outer expression to the inner world, transformations can take place, the kind of changes that affect your life forever. A commitment to creativity can in fact lead to healing, wholeness, and awakening. The intent behind this mini e-book is to serve all who read it in the highest way possible. I offer this book freely because there are many people on the planet today who are experiencing life changes, awakenings, and spiritual breakthroughs. More and more people are exploring the inner world and waking up to the true nature of reality. They are seeing who they really are. As more and more of us wake up to the truth, to our empowerment, and to our abilities to create, the entire planet can shift, and the world can indeed become the spiritual home it was intended to be. I believe this is possible, don't you? The soul among all creatures is generative like God is. Meister Eckhart. To create. According to Webster's New World Dictionary, create means to cause to come into existence, make, originate. Creativity is the act of bringing that which does not exist into existence. Photo credit, FD on Flickr. From the beginning till now the entire creation, as we know, has been groaning in one great act of giving birth. Romans 8:22. Page 6. Union. To genuinely create, that is to bring something out of the realm of non-being into the realm of being, requires union. Opposites, such as known and unknown, fullness and nothingness, conscious and unconscious, male and female, human and divine must become one in order to produce the creative third. Creativity is the art of developing a relationship with and trusting the unknown. It is the act of bringing together what is conscious with what is unconscious, what is in the light of awareness with what remains in the dark. This requires cultivating an inner state similar to that of the famous cinematographer, Ingmar Bergman, whenever he conceived of a new film. It is a mental state, he said, abounding in fertile associations and images. Most of all, it is a brightly colored thread sticking out of the dark sack of the unconscious. If I begin to wind up this thread, and do it carefully, a complete film will emerge. The state of mind that Bergman describes is like sitting on the shoreline within. A shoreline, the place where the ocean and the land merge, is a symbol for where the unconscious and conscious minds meet. This is where awareness can rest while a creative endeavor unfolds. To cultivate this state of mind, that is to reach the inner shoreline, the artist becomes receptive and listens for the intelligent unfolding of the creative process. As inspiration appears, there may be a feeling of uneasiness and awkwardness because it is risky to follow the unknown. The artist never knows what will happen. Yet, by doing so, he or she becomes a vessel through which the divine can flow. The intelligence of the transpersonal becomes one with the personal, allowing what is new to unfold from the dark into the light of the world. The heart of creativity is an experience of the mystical union. The heart of the mystical union is an experience of creativity. Julia Cameron. Page 7. Creativity as spiritual discipline. Since union with the divine, the transpersonal, and the unknown is inherent in the act of creating, creativity can become a spiritual practice leading to experiences of wholeness and awakening. Consciously invoking and participating in the creative force for spiritual enlightenment is essentially the practice of Tantra Yoga. Often when people hear or read Tantra, they think of sexuality. Sex can be a means to practice Tantra, though the yogic practice itself is not so much concerned with sexual pleasure as it is with the creative force. The word Tantra comes from the two Sanskrit words danoti, which means expansion, and traiti, which means liberation. Tantra Yoga attempts to expand awareness to include all opposing aspects of oneself, such as remembered and forgotten, male and female, dark and light, pleasurable and painful, thereby awakening to the wholeness of the universe as a creative expression of the Supreme Being. The continued practice of allowing the creative force through you and thereby consistently uniting with the divine awakens the wisdom that all form is temporary, simply appearing and disappearing, and pointing to a single source before and beyond reality. Just as in creativity where something emerges from nothing, all worlds of form are the creative expression of one intelligent source. Awakening to and actively experiencing this truth can release the belief in being separate from the whole and lead to the eternal union of human and divine. Sex is the manifestation of the driving life energy of the universe. Sexuality is an expression of the moving force that underlies everything and gives it life. Starhawk. Page 8. The practice. Whether it is through dance, writing, painting, or sculpting, the creative medium does not matter, simply give expression to your inner world. Allow whatever is happening within to become a movement, a sentence, a brush stroke. In other words, become the creator. Let all feelings, thoughts, desires, and bodily sensations be born within you as you give birth to them outwardly. You, then, become a medium, a channel for the cosmos. With writing, for instance, there may not be too many words that rise to the surface of the mind at first. Yet you move your hand anyway, even if you're writing "I don't know what to write now." Slowly, what appears may be the stories you've created about the day's events or the worries you have about your vacation next week, or your true feelings about the conversation you had with a good friend. You write out the unspoken thoughts and feelings about the happenings of your unique life. As you continue to let your attention rest on the inner world and give it expression, the energy inside starts to build. Your hand starts to swing from one end of the page to the other. More and more thoughts, feelings, emotions, memories, dream snippets, and bodily sensations enter your field of consciousness. You write it all out and meanwhile the energy increases. Soon, there is a fountain of activity inside and your hand can barely keep up with the fire within. The vitality that's there is not so much about your reactions to everyday life. Instead, it is an expansive sensation, an energy and intelligence offering you creative ideas, innovation solutions, and feelings of connection, ease, and timelessness. This is the creative flow. With the creative flow moving through you, your hand continues to move across the page while another part of you listens. You follow hints of guidance while gently pulling on that brightly colored thread sticking out of the dark sack of the unconscious. Although it feels uncertain, trust deepens by recognizing that each inner impulse you follow is important and necessary to receive the next piece of creative direction. Little by little, trust in the unknown strengthens by listening and continuing to follow what the creative process is asking for. Ultimately, creativity requires a letting go of the ego, giving up any plan or agenda that the mind might make up, and page 9. Surrendering to the natural rhythm that is occurring within. Just like all spiritual disciplines, a practice of creativity has certain guidelines so that wisdom and purification of the mind can be reached. Giving non-judgmental expression to whatever arises, allowing anything at all to surface from within, and becoming a witness to the inner experience are three pillars to a strong, spiritual practice of creativity. While practicing the yoga, for example, students are often instructed to keep attention on the breath while the body stretches out in Adho Mukha Svanasana, or down-facing dog pose. Similarly, in creativity, attention remains on the inner world while another part of the individual gives non-judgmental expression to whatever surfaces inside. Allowing anything at all to arise softens a judging mind, frees the creative process, and widens the boundaries of the limited ego. As inner experiences unfold and the practice of creativity deepens, you can learn to become a witness to the inner world versus being identified or attached to any part of it. As a result, the inner world rises up freely and effortlessly while you express the fullness that passes through you. Instead, you come to identify with the universe and not the phenomena that is arising within. More here about the practice. One should identify with the universe itself. Simone Weil. Page 10. The psychology of creation. If an individual were to do this practice regularly and develop a relationship with the inner world, he or she may uncover the same insight that Swiss psychologist Carl Jung had after exploring the wilderness within. Jung saw the unconscious mind forever releasing energy and information. For those who are open to it, often these are poets, artists, and writers, a fountain of life springs forward from the dark dome inside. The life force streams through the psyche in the form of ideas, thoughts, feelings, moods, dreams, and at its most basic level, images into the light of awareness. See more about images below. In fact, the psyche is not a static three-layered entity of ID, ego, and superego. Instead, it is an alive, dynamic, shifting, and forever fluid collection of energy. When the more stagnant parts of oneself are set aside temporarily, ego and personality, the vibrant river of creativity can flow through. This energy, this vitality, this river of life is the same energy, the same intelligence that orchestrates the motion of the cosmos, composes the delicate details and harmony of the human body, and it is this divine brilliance that flows through the psyche in a many splendid display. When I say the psychology of creativity, I mean the fountain of life that flows through the mind ceaselessly. This fountain, this emergence of creativity flowing through the psyche happens on two levels. First, within the present moment ideas, thoughts, images, feelings, dreams, memories, and moods ceaselessly arise from the unconscious. Second, this inner creative fountain happens over a period of time. Like the evolution of the universe from its beginning to today, the psyche is a process. It is a step-by-step unfolding, a bit-by-bit expanding of who one is. This expansion, this unfolding, this gradual evolution of one's life can happen but only if an individual allows and participates in it. If the conscious mind is open to information from the unconscious, then a relationship between the unconscious and conscious minds can develop. Often, it is the artists, the writers, the creators, who experience this relationship because in order to be creative, there must be an inner dialogue. There must be a part of the self that listens for what is quietly unfolding within, just as Ingmar Bergman did to pull on that brightly colored thread and create his award-winning films. However, if an individual is closed off to the nothingness inside, and remains unaware of the creativity that ceaselessly emerges from the inner darkness, which is true for most of the human race, then suffering, stagnation, and soul disconnection results. The unconscious mind emits a continual stream of energetic pulses. Page 11. That find their way to the conscious mind in the form of feelings, moods, and most of all, the images that appear in the imagination. Robert Johnson. Page 12. The spirituality of creation. Human beings have a remarkable skill, the power to imagine. We have ability to make things up, to invent, to design, and to dream. Just as the boundless and great mind of God created the planets and the moons that circle them, so we possess the power of vision. Our ability to imagine is part of our spiritual power. As poet William Blake said, imagination is the divine body in every man. More remarkable is the power to bring what we imagine into manifestation. With an innovative idea, new technology comes into being. With a stroke of insight, a problem's solution is found. With long-held vision, goals are reached, businesses succeed, and great achievements won. Just like the Wright brothers who believed that humans could fly and then designed the first flying aircraft, we can bring even our fanciful imaginings into fruition. The ability to imagine is the potent spiritual power of creating. The most basic, most elemental link to the spirituality of creativity is the image. It is the image that creates. It is the image that becomes manifest. It is the image that sooner or later becomes reality. As author Robert Evans wrote, "Imagination is reality, reality is imagination." Whatever images are held about one's life, about one's future, about one's past, about who one is, those are the images that are the building blocks of one's reality. Those are the images that will, in one form or another, become the stones and steps of one's future. If the images don't change, neither will the patterns of one's life. The image is the creative matrix between what does not yet exist and what is in existence. It is the potent particle that when given enough attention, enough thought, enough energy, grows and expands into something larger, something the human being experiences, reality. The powers we humans have to give birth to our images are in fact the very divine power of the universe itself and, more than that, of the divinity itself. Matthew Fox. Page 13. The image. Although we can make up images ourselves, some spontaneously arrive at our inner doorstep. An inner image is the link between the unconscious and conscious minds. It is the junction between what exists and does not exist. It connects fantasy and reality, inner and outer, human and divine. Images are, simply put, inner experiences. They are what we feel, see, hear, smell, or know from within. For instance, we may look through a window and see a tree. However, an inner image is one we see with the third eye as some call it, or with the mind's eye. Some may have experiences of hearing in voices or sounds, while others are skilled at feeling certain sensations from within. Even though an experience is not part of external reality, does not necessarily make it unreal. Inner experiences of the senses are images. They are the building blocks of the imagination, and together a whole host of images can create an inner experience, almost as real as living it. Concepts are coined and negotiable values. Images are life. C. G. Jung. Page 14. The creative power of focused attention. The image is powerful indeed, and more powerful is the image partnered with focused attention. As attention remains on the inner world, on the soft emergence that flows from there, on the brightly colored thread, it is easy to notice the inner phenomena that is arising and falling away. It is easy to experience the creative fountain of the psyche. Part of this inner spring, one form of this fountain inside, is the image, and when the right amount of attention meets an image, something remarkable happens. The images that arrive spontaneously, those that appear automatically upon the black screen of the mind, are the images of the soul. They come forward instinctively from the boundless landscape of the unconscious. With the right amount of attention, most individuals will find that these images have two types of movement. They move externally and internally. Let me explain. The external movement of the image is the way it appears and disappears in the mind, just like any idea, thought, sensation, or memory arises and subsides. An image enters awareness and then leaves. It appears within the black void of the mind and fades. This up and down, appearing and disappearing quality of the image is its external movement. The internal movement, on the other hand, has a certain secret to it. It can only be seen or witnessed with the right inner tool, attention. With enough focused concentration, an image comes to life. Using an image already held in the mind's eye and watching where it wants to go awakens its internal movement. Attention moves, shifts and reshapes an inner image until it is moving on its own. As the psychologist Carl Jung wrote, "If the image is pregnant, then life is due to come out of it." Giving continued attention to a reshaping and shifting image hooks attention deeper and deeper into the psyche. If there are no interruptions from the ego or the intellect, and they will most certainly want to interrupt the process, attention can continue to witness the arising image, its external movement, and its transformations, its internal movement. Concentrating on a moving image stimulates more internal movement. This, in turn, page 15, continues to captivate attention and create more imaginative activity. The circular process leads attention deeper and deeper into the unconscious psyche. If the ego can remain at bay long enough, the images will begin to shift shape on their own, inner voices will dialogue autonomously, events within will unfold spontaneously. As this continues minute after minute, it will feel as though a full waking dream were taking place. The experience of inner images moving autonomously is no different than dreaming, only this time the dreamer is awake and conscious. This experience of lucid dreaming is like being at the bottom of the psyche's well. An individual's awareness is resting at the source of life. It is reflecting upon the cradle of the cosmos, where life is born, and where all things ceaselessly emerge. The gift of attention, or presence, is the sacred gift we can give to the universe in return for this precious life. Adriana. Page 16. Inner nothingness. An experience such as this is one of awakening. When awareness reaches the deep place of nothingness within, where a geyser of images emerges, there is a clear recognition that life itself is a dream, emerging from a nothingness within. Reality is a creative unfolding, and no part of it exists separate from the whole. No part of experience, no part of reality is separate from the dream. All of experience is emerging from the source within and creating the present moment, manifesting this shared reality. This experience is like looking deep within and discovering that under the threads of one's life, beneath the details of existence, lies a beautiful nothingness. This is the center and the cradle of our being. It is holy. It is sacred. It is the generative, creative God, and this powerful, omniscient source can be found in all human beings, not just some of us. The dream that emerges from the nothingness within is a self-perfecting, whole, living entity. In other words, it is one intelligent body of creation. There is only thing happening within every moment of life, and that is the outrageous, glorious, and unmediated expression of God. Absolutely everything that is taking place is creation. It is the ceaseless, creative unfolding of an image. Collectively, these images create the shared experience of life, or a living, waking dream. There is nothing else happening other than the appearance and disappearance of phenomena. Aspects of the dream arise from a nothingness, enter the world of everything, and return to their source. Creation is happening right now, across dimensions of time, and through and as the human being. Fundamentally, an individual does not exist as a separate being, but rather as an indivisible expression of what connects all of us, the underlying, interconnected sacred and generative field of nothingness. Page 17. The human soul has one foot in nothingness and the other in everything. Michael Tanmura. Page 18. Co-creation. As bearers of a nothingness and keepers of the omnipotent source, we are powerful beings. We are the greatness that keeps the sun shining. We are the miracle that keeps the planets swirling. We are the joy that keeps the earth lovingly embracing the sun. We are the vast galaxy, the swaying ocean, the early morning sunlight, the flowering rose, the soft bed of grass, and the drop of sea water that rides the wave to shore. As powerful beings, We can create. We can ask for and receive. We can consciously envision and bring into manifestation what we desire. We have the power to imagine, invent, design, dream. Although this is true, the everyday reality that an individual creates is unfortunately a reflection of his or her unconsciousness. We tend to find ourselves in the same life. Page 19. Circumstances, attracting the same relationships, or dreaming up the same financial situations. Although we have the power to consciously create, when we examine our life, we might see that the same events, the same life themes tend to occur again and again. What is cut off, disowned, abandoned, or pushed away inside of us will find its way into our external field of reality. Whatever is present in our inner world, both consciously and unconsciously, will become a living image, a waking experience. Reality is the living shape and form of the world within. By unconsciously bringing to life unfinished inner processes, we are attempting to solve what is incomplete in us. We will dream up the reality of an inner process, creating a mirror image of that in our lives, in order to solve the problem, in order to become one with whatever we continue to reject within us. As with eternal movie projectors, we will place images outside of ourselves and label onto others the unconscious parts of ourselves. We recreate and act out inner processes in living, waking form as an unconscious way of seeking resolution. This universe is a mass shared dream that all 6.5 billion of us are collaboratively dreaming up into materialization. When we realize this, we can put our lucidity together so that we can co-creatively dream a much more grace-filled universe into incarnation. This is nothing other than an evolutionary quantum leap in human consciousness, unimaginable until now. Paul Levy. Page 20. Tending to the image. Fortunately, there is a way to find out what we are unconsciously creating. When we bring attention inward, we will see that certain spontaneous images reflect what is really going on within us. They arise from the dark well of the unconscious and reveal the unknown patterns and the inner processes that underlie and form the foundation for our external reality. Since the image is the potent link between the unconscious and conscious minds, you can use the power of your attention to guide them out of the dark and into the light of awareness. Here are a few ways to investigate an inner spontaneous image. 1. Follow the image, in your mind's eye, find out where it leads. 2. Explore the image, what meaning does it contain? 3. Dialogue with the image, what does it have to say? 4. Act out the image. How would the body give it form? 5. Give artistic expression to the image. What color, shape or texture does it possess? The greatness of an artist lies in the building of an inner world, and in the ability to reconcile this inner world with the outer. Albert Einstein. Page 21. The soul's image. As you continue to work with your inner images and as you form a relationship with them, you may notice that the psyche is connected to a deeper source. You may discover that the images arising, both positive and negative, are born of the nothingness within. Like tributaries from this dark inner ocean, our images deliver the evolution of our lives. Whether positive or negative, whether easy to welcome or difficult to accept, the collection of images that arise from within, from our inner nothingness, make up the path of our lives. They are the images that are a part of the universal creative flow. Just as a seed will grow to be a sunflower and a wave will ride its destined path to shore, so will an inner image live and find its home in external experience. In other words, these images, those that are given to us, those that come from deep within, contribute to and together make up the path of our destiny. They are handed to us by the infinite, boundless, and timeless part of ourselves and form the framework of our lives. As a collective species, we have been cut off from our inner images. We have been severed from trusting them and detached from the ability to express them in the living moment. Instead, we accept images from the television, from movies, and in general from what happens externally. Even though much of the population does not look in its direction, The soul has many images to share. All of them mirror our destined path of both celebration and suffering. These are the images that Meister Eckhart speaks of when he describes them as playing a vital role in time and space. They contribute to the gradual unfolding of God, of the human race, of the cosmos. These are the visions, the insights, the impressions, and the passions of the soul. They require our attention, our love, and our care because they are gifts from the creative life force. They come spontaneously, at odd moments, when we least expect them, and often with a quality of softness making them easy to dismiss. These images create union between an individual's life and the evolutionary process of creation. Page 22. The soul expresses itself in images. Care of the soul asks that we pay close attention to the images we inhabit. Thomas More. Page 23. Pointing attention inward. Without soil, sunshine, and water, an acorn will never become what it's destined to be. Without love, protection, and parenting, a child will hardly find his or her place in the world. Similarly, without attention, images will never get a chance to grow, to expand, and to come alive. They will remain dormant in us and finally wither away until the weight of their dead bodies depresses us. Over time, the graveyard of our inner images will leave us disconnected from the life force that is our inheritance. Though soulful images are sometimes easy to discard, not all of them are easy to accept. Often, these images reflect our suffering, our early traumas, and the parts of ourselves that need more love and attention. These images reveal our parts that need healing and yearn for wholeness. We can inherit them from our ancestral lineage, reflecting the unresolved issues that have been passed down from fathers to sons and mothers to daughters. These images come from our ancestors, from our ethnic tribe, and even from the ailing planet Earth. Images of the soul come from beyond who we are while contributing to the expansion of who we are. By allowing them to travel through us versus discarding them, they intersect, support and grow our lives. We need to ride our images as one would ride a giant eagle soaring up and down wherever they take us. Matthew Fox. Page 24. Dialogue with darkness. By continuing to keep attention inwards and by giving expression to the inner world, all things, including images, will be able to arise freely and effortlessly. When this happens, you will become nothing again. Then, when you are reduced to zero, when everything is able to arise, when there are no inner boundaries left standing, when your attention has melted the lines between right and wrong, good and bad, what to reveal in you and what to hide, then the entire universe can come through you. The entire cosmos becomes a fountain and you the fountainhead. Of course, there is reason why some individuals would resist this kind of experience. They may know intuitively that it will lead to a dialogue with darkness. All the parts of oneself considered worthless or distasteful hide behind the wall of the ego and get buried in the dark. Opening up to whatever arises in creativity can lead to facing what was buried long ago. Like meditation, which challenges the mind with concentration and leads to facing inner states of discomfort, a practice of creativity challenges the individual's sense of self by allowing all inner experiences to arise, no matter how distasteful they are to the ego. The word allow could be broken down to all and ao, meaning to receive all including the ao, including what is painful, unsettling, and what hurts. The creativity of one's life embraces all experiences, good and bad, pleasurable and painful, joyful and mournful. Suffering at its deepest level comes from resisting or pushing parts of life, and parts of the self, away. Reversely, allowing anything to arise can lead to incredible healing and wholeness. What you bring forward from within you will save you, and what you do not bring forward will destroy you. Gospel of Street. Thomas. Page 25. Breakthrough. When individual is no longer hiding the shadow, when he or she has nothing to hide, then the illumination of the Creator can shine through. As the fiery lava of an erupting volcano blasts through constraining rock, so does the inner light and creative fire of an individual break through the oppressive, judging, and restrictive limitations of the past. Where before the individual buried pain, concealed shame, and hid his or her darkness, instead he or she naturally and authentically gives expression to the inner world as it is being experienced in the moment. A sustained practice of creativity and a continued willingness to face what arises, positive and negative, can lead to facing the shadow, finding wholeness, and finally to the full expression of one's authenticity, passion, and joy. This is the breakthrough of God, our deepest and most alive self, the part of us that is thoroughly authentic, real, and genuine. No part of us is left hidden, and instead the full light of our soul shines through. This birthing through our beingness, through our psyche and especially through the heart is the greatest gift of the Creator, for it is the expression of God through the human being. It is the articulation of the Creator in a particular form, like the flower, the wave, the blade of grass, the redwood tree, the cloud. Only this expression is the authenticity of you. Your full radiance shines and glows like a bright sun. This is a spiritual emergence, a breakthrough of the most brilliant and most spectacular type. Perhaps my exuberant tone seems odd here. Indeed, the experience necessary for a spiritual breakthrough is not an easy one. It requires facing the dark, shadowy, and unwelcome parts of yourself, which is challenging at best, if not horrific. It can lead to experiences of depression, anxiety and a loss of self. In the dialogue with darkness, an individual loses the foundation upon which her sense of self stands, and as that crumbles, what was buried long ago emerges. Yet, as the hidden emotions reveal themselves, as the frozen inner energies thaw out, something else also breaks through. It is the bright light, the authentic radiance of the self. Where once the small lamp of the ego casts a shadow, the bright inner sun of one's being illuminates all of creation and becomes the North Star of one's life. Page 26. A breakthrough such as this is not separate from the energy of creation forming and shaping this life. It is no different from the lotus flower growing upward through the mucky waters of the swamp until it blooms on the surface. It is not separate from the uncurling buds of a seed finding its way out of the darkness of the dirt to experience the warmth and love of the sun. It is not unlike the sun breaking through darkness in the early morning hours. This experience is the emergence of the powerful Creator through and as an authentic human being. With a spiritual emergence, a breakthrough of one's authenticity, an individual moves from being a martyr to magician. He or she is no longer afflicted by the wounds of the past and instead claims his or her empowerment, picking up the sacred wand of the heart, walking tall with it, and using it to create the life one wants. Today you are you, that is truer than true. There is no one alive who is youer than you. Dr. Seuss. Page 27. The artist as healer of the world. Create, create, create. Create for your soul, for your evolution, for your unfolding. Create for healing, celebration, and co-creation. Create for me, for you, and for the world. Create for the great Mother Earth. Just by getting the creative flow active in your life for the sole purpose of connecting to it, that alone is a shift for the planet. Most of the collective is logical, rational, and analytical, and though there is nothing wrong with being intelligent, the problem arises if it means dismissing the creative contributions that arises from within. By keeping the unconscious at bay, we deny the creative force. We deny the power of God moving through us. We resist the evolution of the cosmos which is unfolding and expanding moment by moment, day by day, hour by hour. As a collective, we are ignorant of the fact that the creative, sexual, generative energy of the universe ceaselessly gives birth to and sustains our lives. Repressing and denying the creative/sexual energy has led to destruction of the earth, extinction of species, starving children, violence against women, and millions of both men and women experiencing rape or sexual assault. These are deep, Psychological symptoms of the continual disregard of the unconscious and its ceaseless creative intelligence. Page 28. When you create by listening to the unfolding within, you bring together inner opposites. Light and dark, known and unknown, conscious and unconscious. You heal your inner world, expand your consciousness, and automatically shift the dream you are dreaming. When you become conscious of what is hidden in you, when you awaken to the parts of yourself that you were once rejecting, you change your inner and outer reality. Build a practice of creativity by simply writing or painting or dancing or sculpting, for 15 to 30 minutes every morning, and let anything come through you. Once you feel a creative flow move through you, be with it, stay with it, feel your connection to it. Whatever moves through you is what needs to come through you for your evolution and for the evolution of the cosmos. When you join forces with the flow of creativity, you connect with the power that has created you, is creating you, and will be creating you. Surrender your small self in exchange for the flow of the universe. As a conduit for the cosmos, become the cosmos. Then, filled with creation, you can do what you are here to do: heal, celebrate, and co-create. Page 29. We shall have a creative kingdom. Mechthild of Magdeburg. Page 30. About the author. Adriana Atentu is the owner and founder of, offering private sessions, online courses, weekly wisdom, and inspirational and thought-provoking articles. Adriana is an advocate for developing a spiritual practice of creativity and facilitates in others the deepening relationship with the place from which creative inspiration emerges. It is through being creative that the intelligence of the heart emerges, revealing one's life path, purpose, and passion. Adriana works with individuals who want to deepen their relationship with creativity, from getting the creative juices flowing, to allowing inner experiences to creatively emerge, to caring for soul's images, to tending to the breakthrough process. Adriana has been in the field of psychology for the last 10 years, and has worked with adults, children, and adolescents in both group and individual therapy. Contact her at adriana@creationmeditation.com. God became a human being in order that human beings might become God. Street. Ionaeus. Page 31. About the artist. True story of creation. Once upon a time I signed up for a creativity tell class Adriana was offering. It looked and felt really exciting. I love creativity. I love anything that gives me the opportunity to feel more alive and connected to Source. Then, much to my delight, I received a follow-up email with a beautiful gift, this little e-book. I began to read it and was so entranced that I decided to really savor it, to really bring it inside and let it become a part of me. I did this by reformatting each page into something that I could absorb. I have a different way of working with the written word. When I can make it more like art, I am able to retain it at a deeper level. So I was inspired to be creative with her e-book. Thank you, Adriana, for creating such an inspiring experience for us all. When it was complete, I was delightfully full of inspiration from Adriana's word magic, images and quotes. The book had taken on the brand new look and feeling. I liked it. Somewhere in the process I knew I was going to send it to her as my pay-it-forward thank you gift. She was delighted and invited me to share myself and information here so I could ride along with all this magic into your life. Sailor K is a true living alchemist. She is here to activate change as a prolific visionary artist, psychic intuitive transformation specialist, metaphysician, writer, inventor, and explorer, with numerous skills and deep understanding, which result in creative works. Her works have a deeply healing, activational, transformative effect on those who view them. She has a shamanic knack for gathering the newest vibrational colors she can bring in from the universe's palette, and then creating art that sparkles with colorful diamonds and gems, crackling with lively energy. She weaves in living elements of life, love, light, fire, earth, air, water, sacred geometry, mathematical formulas, sounds, light codes and light languages. Her art seems to live, breathe, and dance through the dimensions with a particular kind of vital aliveness. Designed to inspire, entice, activate, raise vibrations, invite and give permission to step fully into life and take it on with ecstatic joy and splendid power. This artwork embodies and fuses love and power into one. Offerings transformational art website, vibreakers.com omnidimensional travel adventure sessions. These are great fun and life-changing. Messages from our new universe blog. High Vibe graphic art design contact, sailor@vibreakers.com. This ebook may be freely shared. However, all rights remain with the author. Please give credit where it is due. 2010 Adriana Atento www.creationmeditation.com